Is Dereck Lively the make or break player for the Dallas Mavericks this season? Does he have the most pressure? On today's One More Thing of Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog, Dwight Powell.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still killing.
Your team every day.
You are locked on the Dallas Mavericks. This is one of your hosts, Isaac Harris, covering the Mavs for the last 10 years, alongside my good friend Nick Angstead. And today I want to start off really quick by just offering my condolences to the Nelson family with the passing of Don Nelson. Mark Stein kind of posted the family statement to that. Patrick Dumont and the Mavericks have issued a statement to that. And Don Nelson was a true legend of the game. And he was a coach of the Mavericks from 97 to 2005. And, there's a reason why if you've been online over the past, say 12 to 24 hours, you've seen a lot of NBA people around the league offering their condolences to the Nelson family and just honoring Don Nelson because he changed the game of basketball and with Nelly Ball but just Mavs specifically. He plays such an important role in Mavs history. You can't tell the Dallas Mavericks story throughout history without talking about Don Nelson. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little later today on like a shorter episode, just talking about his impact on the Mavs and all of that. But today we're going to talk about the Mavs that have the most pressure on them this season. And of course, I'm joined by the one and only Slightly Biased from let me rattle them off, the great Slightly Biased YouTube channel, from Haymaker, from Offside. Did I miss one?
Locked On Mavs.
From Locked On Mavs. Coming from a weird basketball court.
Yeah, it's the middle of the offseason. It feels like it's been years since we played basketball, so all the courts are fading from our memories. Rest in peace, Don Nelson, legend of the game, obviously. Even beyond the Mavs.
Yeah, beyond the Mavs. And I mean, we can all just choose to ignore the when he coached the Warriors and upset the Mavs as the 8th seed. So
that's very true.
Thanks, Don. But no, Nick is gone. Nick's on.
People my age that might be what their memory of Don Nelson really was.
Of just that series.
Yes, that is kind of the one that comes to mind first.
It was cool to see Steph Curry. He posted on his Instagram a tribute to him and just of how much he believed in him. And obviously Nelly Ball had a lot to do with playing a lot of guards, and he had a lot of reasons behind that. And he was kind of like a mad scientist really in the game of basketball. But Nick is gone. Nick's on vacation. And so what do you want to do? What do you, we can talk about anything. We can break all the rules. You saw Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Don't know what he was doing down in Dallas, but
Okay. In the third segment, because Nick will kill me if we do it right now, we'll talk about some Spider-Man.
Okay.
Because I think we can be spoiler-ish in the third segment. When you look at this team right now, there's a lot of positive vibes with the team. I think this team can be a lot of fun. They brought in some new people this offseason. I think for the most part, they've made some pretty good moves and they had some taken some chances, some swings on some guys, and I think collectively the energy around the fan base is a lot of fun right now. Looking forward to it. Kyrie coming back. But when you look at the team, and let's include players, let's include coaches or a coach, and the front office in this. I guess if you want to include Dumont, you can. Who has the most pressure on them this season? Vibes are good, but I think there's still some pressure. There's some make or break, or hey, it's all on the line for this player. And I want us to fantasy draft. We're going to do a top 5, who we think is the top 5 connected with the Mavs or in the Mavs organization. And I'm going to let you go first because I feel like I could guess the answer for what one should be, but I don't know.
I put as my number 1, I had Dereck Lively.
Oh, okay. Make the case.
All right. I think, so let me just start by prefacing, I think this is actually a pretty low leverage season for the Mavericks. We just had complete organizational overhaul, coaching overhaul, kind of a tiny bit of roster overhaul, not really, but over the past calendar year, quite a bit of roster turnover. So I don't think there's a lot of pressure in general. If the Mavs don't make the second round of the playoffs, it's not a failure of a season, the way some teams would clean house if they don't make the playoffs or lose in round 1. So I don't think there's too much pressure in general. I'm going with Dereck Lively because to me, he stands to gain and maybe even lose the most out of anybody on the team, just because if he plays and is healthy and gets out there for 60 games and is the Dereck Lively we know and love, and is one of the most impactful players in the league and one of the best defensive players in the league, he's going to make generational life-altering money for not just him, but his kids, their grandkids, all of that. Where if he plays 20 games, 25 games, I don't know what that means for his NBA career. So it's really nothing skill-wise for him because I know who he is. I think he's fantastic. It's more health-wise. Can you stay on the floor? And that's, that would stress me out if I was a player. And I just know if I have an ankle injury, that's a difference between me making $25 million a year and me making, $4 million.
I know. I feel like Lively is the correct answer. I'm going to make a case for somebody else here in a second, but the games played for Dereck Lively, you move back 2 spots in that draft and you pass on Case and Wallace, move back 2 spots. You take Dereck Lively. This is the guy you wanted. He comes in and he has that incredible rookie season, incredible playoff run as a rookie big. They don't get to the finals without Dereck Lively. And after then, it's been tough. It's been a downhill. I mean, I think the span of games since year 1 is like missing 20 at a time. It's like decreasing that much, or maybe 30. I think it's 20. But
he's played
either way. He's got to play
in his career.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I think adds even more pressure to it is I think it's the perfect situation for him. It's not like Rez is a big, but like he can play the 4. So it's not like they landed at pick 3 or something. And like there was a generational center that they just had to take. And then bam, like this is kind of a sucky situation for you, bro. Like you've been injured, but now you're behind this guy, or they went out and you traded for a big time center, or his main competition is Daniel Gafford, who they've been trying to trade for since we were in middle school, and Cisse, like they just brought back Cisse. So I just feel like, and the young core, he's young, he gets to team up with Cooper Flagg and these young guys. It just feels like the whole situation is just perfect for him to be this cornerstone piece. It just all comes down to health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm actually interested. Who was your number 1?
Zaccharie Risacher.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Here's my case for Risacher at number 1. You're the number 1 overall pick. You're the team who drafted you gave up on you after 2 years. This is kind of a similar. It's he's a year behind Lively or a year ahead, however you want to word that, in the contract type of thing. Like they both need to have like a really good season to get a big paycheck next time. Even though Risacher can have some guaranteed money next year that they're probably going to pick up with that $17 million. The thing of why I put Risacher ahead is his isn't based off injuries. His is just pure play.
Yeah.
Of like Lively, we can look at it and it's like, dude, you dominated when you're healthy, and there's a pressure to stay healthy, but some of that is kind of out of his control. Risacher, it's like, you got to step up to the plate. Like you just haven't been great in Atlanta. Like you had some stretches of your rookie season, but with Risacher, it's like, and I think the same with Lively, the same with Risacher is I think he's stepping into almost near perfect situation. If you had to hit the reset button on a guy in his 3rd season that was number 1 pick as this like athletic wing this is the situation. I would say this is the ideal reset situation to pair alongside Cooper Flagg, where they don't have these like super locked in long-term wing pieces next to Cooper.
Yeah, I had him high on my board too. But the reason, I feel like the last few times I've been on here, I've just destroyed Risacher, and I don't mean to do it. But
you do. Yeah,
I do. The reason why I'd have Lively ahead is, again, Lively, if he plays, is going to make a lot of money. Whereas Risacher, I think, has a while to go. And frankly, I haven't seen anything in his career yet that makes me think he's on the precipice of that, where if he tweaks a few things, boom, he's making 25, 30. But I get what you're saying, though, where if this is another year like we've seen the last 2 years from Risacher, and this would have been the point I made if I drafted him, is, I don't know what that means for his standing in the league. Like these guys will get chances, right? And he's kind of this archetype where if we boost the 3-point percentage up just a tick, and maybe the 3-point volume up just a tick with his size, like he'll stick around in the NBA. You know, what will his role be? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he's under pressure. I had him high as well. It's just more, you know, I think Lively is a top 60 player or so in the league when he's out there.
Yeah.
It's just that would just weigh heavy on me.
Whose career's more tanked if they have a bad year next year?
Bad? Are you saying like Dereck Lively plays bad or he's injured?
Let's say Lively is injured again and Risacher just sucks again.
I mean, with Risacher, it'll just be, well, that's it. This is who he is. He's just not a good NBA player. Lively will be, well, he's just never going to stay healthy. So
we have another Odin on our hands.
Yeah, something like that, where teams might still take chances on Lively.
Yeah.
Similar to the Rob Will or the KP, where it's, can you just stay healthy for 20 games in March, in April, in June?
At least Risacher has that 17 million that he's probably going to get that next year. Lively, he's got to, like, this is determining your next contract. And let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll make our next pick in our fantasy draft and as most Mavs players with the most pressure on them this season. This podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Odoo. Running a business shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that were never designed to work together. One app for accounting, another for inventory, another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. And it's just pretty frustrating when this happens. That's where Odoo comes into play. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, everything works in one place, helping your team move faster, organized, and focus on growing the business instead of managing software. The best organizations know that success isn't just about talent. It's about having everyone working together towards the same goal. And this is what the Mavs are doing right now. They're all about alignment right now. Masai Ujiri, Mike Schmitz, on down the line with Dusty May and the players. They're all, I feel like I should ask him, hey, are you using Odoo? Because this is what Odoo does. And that's true in sports, just like it is in business. The great organizations win because operations matter, and that's why you should get Odoo. Try for free today at odoo.com/lockedon. That's odoo.com/lockedon.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Yeah, back with Slightly. We're talking about the Mavs. Good vibes right now with the Mavs, but overall, there's some players or coach or front office person. Will I draft Dusty May on this fantasy draft? Maybe. That has some pressure on them this season. You took Dereck Lively #1, smart pick. I took Zach Risacher as my #1 pick. Let's go back to you. Who you taking #2?
I just went with Patrick Dumont.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know what to do with him on this list. Okay.
It's weird because as an owner, what do you mean pressure? I'm not going to get fired by anybody. But
Dundon's like, gotcha.
Yes. I just feel, the vibes are trending upwards just anecdotally amongst the fan base. I feel like most people are in lockstep with how this offseason's gone, that it's gone. Some people think it's gone fantastic. At the very worst, you think it's gone good, right? Like, I don't know if I've seen anyone say it's been a bad offseason for Dallas. If you can just stay out of your own way as an organization for the next calendar year, kind of regardless of what happens on the basketball court, I think you're really going to be trending towards, hey, what happened in 2024, 2025, that is behind us permanently, and we're just moving on as a franchise. And I don't know, maybe we'll do a little love affair sort of flirt session with Luka, and who knows if he experiences free agency or not, but we'll kind of play into that a little bit to get the fan base going. But other than that, stay out of your own way. Don't do anything stupid. I don't even know what that could be, but I don't even want to know. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to know what it could be. This is what I was going to ask you. After you said it, I was like, all right. So pretty much what you're saying is just show up to the games that you plan on coming to and just like chill and enjoy it. Pretty much. Anything outside of that, he's playing with fire. I'm more saying, I guess this is more of a whole organization thing where it's, let's not have some, hey, actually the Valley View Mall area, we're not getting what we wanted maybe from the tax thing, and we're looking at other options. Like, none of that. Let's just, get through. We need the city to kick in. Yeah, we need the city. We're wanting to build an entertainment district. What was the Rhode Island FC thing that Pablo Torre said? We're going to help with affordable housing. There should, if someone's building a stadium says, and I'm going to build housing around it, it's like, dude, it's like, who are you?
All right. Okay. And you plan on adopting like 2,000 puppies too.
Yeah.
No more. So you're saying like no more fans, like, teenagers in like a Luka jersey front row.
Yeah. It's okay. And I'm saying this right now, knowing full well as somebody who makes content kind of around this team that there is something there when there's always something to talk about with them. But a year where, we just kind of finished the season and basketball was the primary thing, that's totally cool.
I'm with you on this. I think this year, if we're, which he has said that he's listened to the show before. So if you're listening to this, Patrick Dumont, he told Nick this, or he told Nick that, not what I'm about to say. I think next year, if I was handing out a goal for you as a podcaster that I know you care about, I would say out of sight, out of mind. That if all the stuff this past year, like you hired Masai to come in and be the guy, the vibes are great. Mike Schmitz, Dusty May, Cooper, Kyrie. I think the less that we talk about Patrick Dumont over the next 12 months will do the best thing for him and like his vision with fans.
Totally agree. I think that should be the case for every owner. You really should know your owner's name. It's one of those things. Unless they're so good that they're constantly talked about as good owners. But
yeah, like Dolan.
Yeah. You don't want to be a Dolan.
Okay. I might surprise you a little bit with this one because this is where it got a little hard for me. I'm going to take Cooper right here.
No, I had him I had him next.
Okay, because when I first made this list, I had him off of my top 5. And then I worked him back on it because the way I looked at it initially was, dude, you're so good. It's year 2. What are the true expectations for you right now? Like you're kind of in that sweet spot, honeymoon stage. People talk about the star arc a lot of, when they first come in the league, people just love them. And that's kind of the stage he's in right now. Give it a handful of years and it'll start to shift, kind of like it's shifting with Wemby, of the hate. And we see it with everybody. We see it with all the stars. But we're not in that stage yet. And it's great right now for Cooper. But I do think there's a pressure of, I could be wrong, but I feel like the hype and excitement around Cooper has only grown over the past, I know it sounds dumb, but even with like this card thing too, like I think that's just there's so many things where I feel like even like the casual NBA fans in my life have asked me more about Cooper Flagg than anything at the beginning of the year or the first half of the year. It just feels like the excitement about him and like his star potential has only grown. So I think there is a pressure of like, you got to hit year 2 and you got to grow. You got to, will you live up to what we all think you will, but is there a pressure in that? It's not a pressure to like get your team to the Western Conference Finals. It's a different type of pressure, but can you take that next step? And there's been a lot of building around this team over the past 6 months that is really with you at the center of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think, I for sure knew I'd have Cooper on this list, but it's more, pressure is a privilege. You were a number 1 pick.
Put that on a Hobby Lobby sign.
Yeah, put that on a Hobby Lobby sign. That's great. Put that in a cold call sales office. A high pressure cold call sales office.
It's on the wall. Yeah.
Pressure is a privilege. Really? Doesn't feel like it. No, you were the card keys have been handed to you. You were the number 1 pick. You're one of the highly touted prospects ever in the history of the draft. Yeah, of course there's pressure on you, but that's good though. And I'm excited to see him step up to the plate and handle it. And like you said, it's not pressure to immediately win and make the finals. It's just, prove to us you are that guy. And I fully believe he'll do it. It's just, there's some pressure on him.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So I took you number 2. Who is your 3rd pick overall?
This podcast.
We got the most pressure on us right now.
We do. It's been a long few years. And I'm wondering if there's just a season, like I said, where it's just kind of basketball oriented. It's just, will it be February? And we haven't had this little to talk about in a long time.
It's pretty insane though, of like even if you go past those 2 years, sometimes we'll like reminisce on it of like all the stuff we've done a daily podcast through, even like outside the world stuff, 2020, that whole year. And and not even like there was no games, everything that was happening in the world. And it just, the crazy amount of things that's happened over the past handful of years.
I know. It's funny because I always joke with Nick. I'm like, can you imagine if there was nothing going on with this team? I always wonder with teams like the Pelicans or something, no offense to them, where it's like, what is there to talk about tonight? Anything?
Like, which Pelican we're comparing, like, I don't know, New Orleans Foods on Bourbon Street to like players.
Yeah, Zion's like a jambalaya. That game just happened too.
I saw Jamal Mosley, a picture of him at the Saints practice, and it's like he was decked out in Pelicans, just head to toe, hat, shorts, everything. It's like, I wonder how many Saints players are Pelicans fans.
I would be surprised if there was one.
Okay, wait. Who's your other pick?
Dusty May.
Okay. Back to back non-player picks.
Well, I'm going kind of where I said at the top, where I just don't think this is an organization that has a lot of pressure on them at all this year. Dusty May, I'll just say, because there is a track record of the college coach to NBA coach pipeline, where it's not as bad as you'd probably be led to believe. Like, it's been somewhat successful in recent years with Brad Stevens and Billy Donovan, who was a good NBA coach, right? It just wasn't on great rosters. But, if it's a disaster right away, is there a world where, I don't even want to put this out there, but if we're just talking pressure, is there a world where it's so bad year one that he doesn't even make it to year two? Or do we think that he's just...
Oh, no.
I mean, do we think that there's a world where it's like, oh, the college thing is not working?
I don't, because it just feels like he has a different personality. Like, I mean, you go to like Jim Beeline that took the Cavs job, and it was so bad.
Yeah,
I don't think he lasted at the end of like even year one.
I don't think he made the full season.
But like his whole coaching style and like the connecting with the players and all, it just feels exactly opposite of Dusty May. Even in that interview with Gina Miller with the Mavs, there it's just like, dude, I'm trying to soak up stuff. I'm learning. I'm trying to do all, and I'm like with Kyrie, and he just is taking just such a humble approach to the job. It feels weird that there would be any path of not connecting. Yeah,
right. No,
it feels like if it didn't work, it would be something in like year 3, and you're like, all right, this is cool. But it hasn't really like resonated with the players fully to like go to the but I just don't think that's happening. I think he's going to be fine, coach. And I would be shocked if something happened in year 1.
Oh, I think so too. I was just kind of floating it out there just because I think Beeline was the last one.
Yeah, he was tough. We can probably forget him if we want, but
again, before him, it was Brad Stevens and Billy Donovan. Like it's a different time. And whenever the hire happened, I was just looking at, you look at college basketball and how different is it with NIL and players leaving. You have to manage their egos and have good relationships with them. So it's similar to the NBA in that regard. So it's not like a Dan Hurley. When Dan Hurley's name was getting tossed around, man, I could see a world where that lasts 6 months. He's a basketball genius, but with that level of intensity at the NBA level, it could flame out dramatically.
You're either going to get to the conference finals year 1 or it's all-star break and he's looking at jobs.
Yeah, you're either going to be running sets that have never been seen before and people are going to be calling you the greatest basketball mind ever, or LeBron James is going to punch you in the face or something.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, we're talking about the people within the Mavs organization have the most pressure on them this season. Slightly, you took Dereck Lively. We're fantasy drafting these people right now. You took Dereck Lively 1. I took Risacher 2nd. And then you followed up with Patrick Dumont at number 3. I took Cooper Flagg at 4. And then at 5, you took Dusty May. I'll go back to the player route. And I'll say Naji, and just for the sake of, can you prove the extension right? And I feel like there's a decent amount of people that were kind of like, hey, slight overpay. He's not a shooter. I've been very vocal. I love him. I actually think the contract is pretty good, and considering all the players around that price tag, and I think he fits well here. But it was one of the things that's been announced in this new regime that it felt like there was a pretty split reaction within the fan base. If you just logged online and said, this is my snapshot of like reactions, and is there a little bit of pressure there of, hey, I gotta prove this extension right?
Yeah, that's a good one, just because, like you said, it was the one thing this summer that I think had the most 50-50 response probably. So yeah, and if the Mavs are good, and let's say they're a postseason basketball team, whether that's the play-in or they make the playoffs, as a 8, 7, 6 seed, that would be the first we experience Naji Marshall postseason basketball. It'll be kind of telling, what that means for his career. And because, the thing with the guys who struggle to shoot threes is, what does it look like in a playoff setting when teams are helping off of you? So yeah, I think Naji's a solid pick here, even though he just signed the extension. Yeah,
it's more of, it's not the pressure for the money. And what does it mean to
Naji,
prove it?
My bad. Naji's played in the playoffs.
Well,
not in a big role. How about that?
Not a big role. No. What does proving it right look like? Because if the Mavericks, if we're all sitting there and be like, hey, we don't expect the Mavericks to be in the second or third round of the playoffs, and let's say Naji doesn't shoot 35% from three, well, majority of people feel like, oh, he didn't prove it right because they didn't win a ton of games and he didn't. Is it all connected to his 3-point shot? I guess
it kind of depends on what his role is on the team. If he's because we talked about this on here. If he's the backup point guard, and that's just the route they're going with it, and the Mavs have a good bench unit, and he's kind of the lead guy with it, then I think most people who at least, watch the games and understand it, at a fundamental level, will say, oh no, Naji's been solid this season. If it is the unfortunate thing that's happened with his 2 years so far here, where he's probably playing a bigger role than he should, and all of his flaws as a player get magnified, because again, he was the lead ball handler for huge chunks of the last 2 seasons, which isn't really fair to him because that's not, the type of player that he is. It's not the player he was brought in to be. That's when, his flaws get magnified. But then it's one of those things where if that happens, if Naji Marshall's second in usage and is the second best scorer on the team in March, then we've had another disaster of a season. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not his fault, really. Yeah.
All right. Who's your next pick?
Kind of similar to where we were at with Lively and Risacher as well. Max Christie's coming up on a contract that needs to be decided on. My thing with him, though, is I feel like we know who he is pretty comfortably. Where it's, especially on this team, assuming it's relatively healthy. There will always be injuries, obviously. I don't know if he'll have a lot of room to showcase more. Do you agree with that?
I know. I'm fascinated. Because he can sign his extension any day. So are they negotiating? I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't asked anyone about it, nor have we seen any reporting about it. Is this hey, we're just going to go into the season, or what's the number out there? Like, what's the number that you would be okay with? Or am I asking the wrong person?
What does it say about me that what does it say about me that the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, oh, I don't like having these combos, because I don't like saying I don't want a guy to get paid the most amount of money, but I am looking at it through a GM lens where it's like, well, I don't know. If Christie's number starts with a 2 per year, I'm immediately out.
Okay.
Immediately, I think that's not a good contract.
Yeah.
If it's over the mid-level, I have to sit down and really depends on my mood, I guess.
I'm trying to think of the last time I've seen in a group text that you've been excited about a contract, and I think it was like Jordan Goodwin.
Yeah, actually, that's probably
true. Colin Gillespie.
Colin Gillespie and Jordan Goodwin signed the same day. I was like, hey, the Suns are killing it.
Yeah, this is a great offseason right here.
No, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard with the extensions because you look around and who's left in free agency this summer, like high profile.
Kaminga.
Yeah, not even yet.
Dude,
He hasn't even left.
Did
We're still getting
Zaccharie
daily upsets.
did Zaccharie shoot you a DM?
He did, and he told me how to pronounce his name. I appreciate it.
No way.
Yeah.
He's had me blocked forever, so I was glad that.
Listen, I'm not up to date on the Zaccharie lore at all. So I don't. I wasn't even making that. For those who don't know, I made like a joke TikTok. He had a tweet that said, "Jonathan Kuminga could make his decision this week." Like, yeah, or it could be next week.
Anyway,
and it did not happen last week, by the way. But no, where are we going with that? Oh, the contract stuff. Yeah, it's hard for me to look at the way free agency has gone and not come to the conclusion it might just be best to unless we're talking a Wemby or I'm really feeling like I'm getting value by committing to you now rather than a year from now, which could be the case with a Lively extension if one came tomorrow and it was $12 million a year or something, and the Mavs were like that's worth it for us. Otherwise, I'm kind of okay with letting these guys hit free agency and kind of seeing what happens.
Okay.
If the contract's not a value.
Yeah. I'll do my last one here. We'll end it at 4 just for timing. We'll do 4 each. I'll just say Rez only because I think when you look at pressure, and I'm factoring in a lot of the outside pressure from like the fan base and fans and media, because I think his role and what they're going to ask him to do and like their vision for him and all of that is great and fine. I think everybody's on the same page, but I also don't think he's going to be like in the rookie of the year hunt either. And he's not going to be putting up the crazy stat. I said this before summer league, and then he had this like crazy summer league game. And there's a chance to where to the average fan, he just looks like an average backup big in year one. And at the same time, you're seeing TikToks of Braden Burries and Yaxel. And there could be a little pressure of that of, hey, you might not be able to log on a little bit as much as you wanted this summer or this season, unless like he's at a really good spot to log on mentally. Cause I could just see a world in which that happens. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. If you're a top 10 pick, there's just inherently pressure on you, especially in a draft as good as this last one. So I think that's, and I agree 100% with your point where we should honestly kind of hammer that point home in the lead up to the season where, hey, there might not be big scoring numbers. There might not be eye-popping offensive stuff. That's not why he got drafted. It might be another year or two before Merez is 35 minutes a game and hopefully having an all defense level impact on the game. That kind of takes a little bit for guys.
You can't expect him to be Bam or Al Horford year one.
Right. And those guys weren't Bam or Al Horford round one or year one.
Yeah, that is a long-term type of path that you would want him on. But year one, it's just going to be tough. The guy I would be like really concerned about is Wagler. And I love Wagler. I'm not concerned about him long-term, but getting your fan base and everybody collectively to agree on, hey man, like it's going to take time. I think he's gonna be a winning basketball player for a long time and he'll be great in the league, but he might struggle a little bit in year one, especially playing off Garland and I don't know. There could be some stuff there where Michael Brown and Acuff and some of these guys are really popping off. And
I mean, in this draft, it's going to be that case with anytime one of them has a bad game, it's going to be.
Can I go to a game in Rhode Island? Can I go to our partners there just to hang out? I'll live in Rhode Island instead of LA to get out of the spotlight.
I mean, if Kawhi does end up getting traded, that's one of the nice things about playing on the Clippers. I would think as a player, especially if I was one that maybe didn't want the glitz and glamour that much, where I could live in LA and be on an NBA team in the city of Los Angeles and really no one cares at all what's going on. Like in a world where, let's say Ballmer gets banned, especially if Ballmer gets banned and that whole thing is, or suspended a year, and that whole thing is just completely behind us and Kawhi's on the Raptors still.
Yeah.
I mean, how many Clippers games would you maybe tune into?
Oh, they would be so far down my league pass.
I'm looking at all the teams in preparation for the upcoming season. there's a world where they are terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I would tune in just to see rookie year Wagler and just see how comfortable he is with some of the like physicality and stuff in year one. But that's about it, man. Like there are going to be teams winning 22 games that I'll watch twice as much as the Clippers.
And I like Darius Garland too quite a bit, but he's just he's just never on the floor.
Derek Jones Jr., Niederhauser. All right.
He hasn't been traded.
There's an episode with the great Slightly in an undisclosed gym. And we'll be back. I'll be back later on today with some talk on Don Nelson.
Thanks for having me on, Isaac.
Anytime, Slightly. Nick.
Spider-Man, go see it.
Oh my gosh, we didn't talk